I'm Gary Carlson. I'm Gary Peter Carlson with Sean here. You're going to do Out of the Bag Radio, huh, Sean?
We are indeed. So first of all, I'd like to say welcome to Out of the Bag. Again, Gary Peter Carlson, for those who are Googling him, from icheckyoursoul.com. And welcome back to Out of the Bag, Gary. It's been not that long since we last saw you. You were on the show not so long ago, and it was absolutely brilliant having you there. But we wanted to do something a little bit different, didn't we? And put a little bit of information for people who have listened to your shows over the years and we're going to cherry pick a few bits of knowledge that they would be happy to know, going forward and looking at your website and learning a bit more about what's going on. So one of the questions, I'm going to hit you with a question straight away. The first question is, can you tell us, as we talk about different dimensions in 5D and 3D and all that, can you tell us what happens at Ascension? When is it going to happen, if you know? And is that going to be individual, or is that going to be an en masse Ascension? And then, and it's a massive question. And what's it like once ascended? Now, I know you can answer those questions, so I'm going to sit back and...
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, there's two kinds of ascension. There's what I've been referring to as planetary ascension, which is actually an ascension for our solar system. Our ascension is when you advance densities, and in each density has several dimensions.
Okay.
In third density, it has dimensions 3 and 4, and Earth's in the fourth dimension, and it's been in the fourth dimension for over 1 million years.
Okay. So it's where we are now, basically.
Third density, fourth dimension.
3D dimension, fourth dimension. Okay, I've got that. Okay.
And the solar system can advance to fourth density, and fourth density has 6 different dimensions in it. We would go to the lowest one to start, but it has dimensions 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we would go to fourth density. The fifth dimension is what we're supposed to change to. And it actually can happen any day now.
Really?
But, yeah, what I get is there's these draconian reptilians that have their souls in human bodies, and they're kind of in power, controlling the world. That's why we're being negatively controlled, and there's a lot of evil going on. Yeah. When we get them out of power, which could be coming up soon,
okay,
then shortly after that, we'll have this planetary ascension.
Right, okay.
Well, and if we don't get them out of power, we could eventually get this planetary ascension. And when we do, they'll all die anyway, because in fourth density, souls that don't have empathy for others can't go in it.
Oh, lovely. So, yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, there's 18 major lines of DNA that account for all living things.
Yes.
Every living thing must have a soul to be alive. If you take away the soul, the living thing dies. If it's an animal, it dies right away, but it could get revived. And if it's a plant, it dies slower and it has a longer time to get revived. And in either case, if it's revived, the soul comes back or another soul comes in its place.
Okay.
So it has to have a soul to be alive.
And so, look, I'm going to chuck in a curveball here. I've heard so many people say that the reason that these beings have managed to stay in power for so long is that they actually reap souls, that they rob people's souls, they steal people's souls, they buy people's souls. Is that true?
No, I can't do any of that.
No, I'm saying people do that. I mean, the evil people are doing that. I think
they can't take it. Oh, when you die, your soul goes to the soul plane, and you're with the higher beings that are positive, and the negative beings don't have any control over your soul. Now, there is an exception to that. If you make a deal with the demons, where the demons give you like extra power and extra money and things like that, when you die, you have to serve the demons for maybe 5 years or something like that before you get to go to the soul plane. That can happen.
Right. Okay.
So in that case, if you look at it that way, then they could control your soul, but that only lasts about 5 years, and that's over with.
No, I'm really glad you've told me that, because honestly, since I was able to hear stories, I have heard rumors and stories in school and banter and all sorts of stuff through the years. You know, that there are soul reapers. I mean, they've even made movies about it. You know, so it's not something that I'm just inventing. It's a condition of fear, I think. And what you've done for me is you've just straight away said in one paragraph, no, it's not true. It's bullshit. And that's great. I think that's how we move forward, is finding out that the lies we've been told aren't actually true.
You ever see these magicians that are doing like these impossible magic tricks?
Yes.
Like there's a guy where he could move his face every couple seconds, and a new mask changes on his face, and he keeps going like that, and he gets a new face mask every few seconds.
Okay.
There's demons doing that for him. And like they're holding things up, and CDs are shooting out of there out of nowhere, and all kinds of impossible magic tricks. The demons are doing it for them, and then when they die, they got to serve the demons.
Right. Well, actually, you know, I know that there is a professional, very famous hypnotist here in Ireland that is quite happy to work for the government and brainwash the masses and use NLP and brainwashing techniques to control the Irish people. I think there should be gallows specially made for those people. But, you know, are those type of people going to, are they the reptilians? Are they the, tell you what, I'll give you his name and maybe you can do a live soul score, because I think I probably just said. Yeah. What's his name? Keith. Oh, you know when you hate someone so you don't remember his name. He's a very famous hypnotist. He's like the Derren Brown of Ireland. Keith. Anyway, horrible, evil person, hypnotist in Dublin, I think. Well, no, Kildare, I think he lives. Sure. Oh, what is his name? Isn't that awful? I can't think of the name of a guy that has hypnotized my family and Irish people and done all these things for the government and still works for them.
They're kind of getting his soul off your mind. I'm getting that he has a reptilian soul.
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, he has a live TV show on RTE, and somebody sent me a video of his show on YouTube from RTE. They sort of copied it from RTE, and my son was on it, being hypnotized by him. And when I was watching the program that he was on, the whole set on RTE Studio in Montrose in Dublin was a Freemason ritual set. It was like an initiation ceremony set. It was absolutely outrageous, you know, save for the lodges around certain places around this country, you know. So this guy is a very evil man, and yes, he must be reptilian or draconian.
Yeah, a lot of them are, and I'm recently learning more about them. Now, these people have human bodies and human DNA. They don't have horns underneath their hat or scaly skin under their shirt or anything like that.
Right.
They got human DNA and human bodies, but their soul's different.
Right.
And the ones that have it, they know each other. They know who's on their team and all that, and they kind of keep it secret. They might not even clearly understand what's going on themselves. They just know that they're reptilian, but they might not clearly understand that it's their soul that's different. Yeah. But that's I'm the one who reads souls.
Well, the thing is, I always like forgiveness, and I'm sort of, you know, I'm brought up a Catholic and all the rest of it, and And I'm hoping that these non-empathic people will change their ways, be forgiven, etc. But you're saying it's not even in the DNA. They can't do it. They're just evil. They actually think what they're doing is right and correct, these evil things.
Making a video with a guy in Ireland, honey. I can't talk. My wife just got home with a guest, but
No worries. Live
you
entertainment.
want to see our new house that we just moved in.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
We got a manufactured house. We moved about 4 miles away from where I was living.
Okay.
And,
I mean, are you happier now?
oh yeah, we got it's 20 by 40, 20 by 42 feet, and it has 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. And we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment with a evil landlord.
So that's all in the past. Brilliant.
The landlord had a real young soul. He was in his second life, and he was wacko crazy, hot and cold, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say good morning to the guy without him getting mad some days.
Well, we digressed a little bit. We went off on a tangent. Let's drag it back a little bit. So I'm really thrilled that you think that the ascension of our planet and our solar system is fairly imminent. That's incredible stuff.
I think it has to happen before 2031.
Oh,
I think that has to happen by 2030 or before. And it can happen anytime, and it's likely to happen within a year.
Okay.
What happens is, in every density, matter and life are expressed differently.
Yes.
But third density and fourth density are fairly similar. But as I said, there's 18 lines of DNA, and 9 of them get a soul that has empathy, and 9 of them get a soul that doesn't have empathy. And the ones that the 9 branches that don't have empathy will die off and not go in fourth density. The ones we'll keep are the plants are flowers, trees, vegetables, grasses, and ferns. And then the animals are mammals, birds, fish, and major sea life. And then there's an animal group that's not on Earth. And we'll also have the microbes for digestion and decay.
Right. So what about the situation with what was I going to say? We had a bit of an interruption then, so I apologize about that, everyone listening. What once we have that ascension, I really want to know, and I'm sure most people want to know, and you've explained it before on shows, so I do recommend people go back to www.outofthebagradio.weebly.com, go to the Google search on the home page, put Gary Peter Carlson in, and hear our earlier shows. But could you explain to us, how will we be as beings after the ascension?
Okay, well, our bodies will stay about the same, but the new people born will be like taller and thinner, and their bodies will work a little bit more efficiently.
Okay.
The ones that are already here will be about the same, but where will it improve is there will no longer be microbes for disease, and some of the things that come in our body that causes bad health and those kind of things will be gone. Like we won't have any more fungus and mold. Those are things that cause bad health. Things like that will be gone.
And also we won't have idiot scientists, because they'll all be gone, because they won't be inventing, biowarfare and virus attacks and all that type of stuff on us, because they won't exist anymore.
Yeah, those people that constantly lie and control the government, all those people will die off. They're the ones with reptilian souls.
Yeah. Well, it's a really positive.
The problems we'll have initially is they're the owners of a lot of things, and they run a lot of things. And when they die off, all of a sudden the humans have to move up to take charge of things.
Yeah,
And
I think we can
I
handle it.
slow process, and things won't get made and delivered and stuff for a while, and until we reorganize the earth.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, we've got to understand there's going to be massive changes and massive trauma in our lives for those changes to happen. But the infrastructure has been built. We paid for it. They were gloriously lining their own pockets and living in wealthy places. So all the banks that'll be gone and all the wonderful big buildings of finance companies, etc., they'll be our community centres and our theatres and our creative centres and our homeless centres and all that type of stuff. We will be living in the lap of luxury because we feckin' paid for it.
I'll give you an example. We got these people outnumbered about 1,700 and something to 1,
Yeah,
and they got 80% of the money.
crazy, isn't it? That just doesn't make sense.
So that 80% of the money is going to get from them and given to the rest of us.
But I mean, people are getting very frustrated now, and I'm talking to people, and they, you know, they want to bomb banks. They want to get rid of government headquarters in different countries. They want to do all that. But here's what I'm saying: is no, remove the scum from them and take over those wonderful properties that are ours. Don't get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Hard labor went into that, usually with the working man's.
Yeah, we can take them over and run them correctly to serve us.
Yes, of course.
Instead of enslave us.
Exactly. And even if there are financial institutions still, there'll be no usury within it, and we'll have a perfect economy where we're all sharing, etc. You know, it's simple. I don't understand why we can't just, you know, Gary Peter Carlson in America and Sean Maguire in Ireland. We both get given the budget that the governments get given, and let's sort this fucking shite out. We do it.
I do want to repeat that. I'm 3/16 Irish and proud of it.
Good man, you.
3/16. That's brilliant.
When your teeth out.
So just letting people know that's Pat Ward in the background. Hiya, Pat. How you doing?
All right, bud.
You didn't speak up until the Irish flag was waved.
Grandmother that's 3/4 Irish.
Fantastic. Hey, 3/4 is nearly all the way. I was told. Do you know what I mean?
I haven't been to Ireland, but I'm hoping to get there soon.
Well, I tell you, the door's always open and the tea will be on the boil if you come.
Yeah.
We'll try and have that special tahini tea or whatever you had.
I certainly want to go hang out with you and have some fun and take me to your favorite places.
Wow, look, the whole of Era is beautiful, Gary. Yeah. I wouldn't know which to put first. Every county has diamonds and beauty all over it. Seriously. From inland to beachland, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a great variety within.
It's stunning. It is stunning. Yeah. We're very lucky to be here. It's a beautiful little country. And if all the EU and the liars and the cheats and the British agents and all the rest of it feck off out of our country, leave us alone, we would be wonderful farmers. We would grow our own crops. We would do what we were doing, and we would be the breadbasket of Europe. We'd have too much food for ourselves because there's not enough of us at the moment.
Was Ireland part of the EU?
It is.
It is, unfortunately.
It is. Well, it isn't because it's been there by proxy. Okay.
So England got out of it, but Ireland stayed in it?
Well, UK got out of it, but originally UK wouldn't have been allowed in it. I mean, back when President de Gaulle was president of France and the Common Market, it was called then, was formed, the UK and England in particular, they were all banned from joining the Common Market because they were sovereign. They had monarchies, sorry, and they had no sovereignty. So they used Northern Ireland and the Republic's sovereignty to get into by the back door into the Common Market.
Oh, they're trying to get back out.
And now they're out, yeah.
Are they?
And now half the country wants to be in and half the country wants to be out. It's like the hokey cokey over there.
Yeah.
So Ireland gave up its money to take the euro, huh, when they joined the EU?
Very sad, very sad. Yeah, we've got corrupt politicians.
What kind of money did you have back then? What was it called?
It was called the punt.
The punt?
The punt, P-U-N-T, the punt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was very, very good and very, very stable, and it could be again. But if we took it away from the, consolidated fund of the British Empire, we took it away from the ridiculous EU tax invasion and all that, we could have a really, really thriving economy, more on a local than a national scale, because we're such a small country.
What's the population of Ireland?
Well, at the moment, ERA is around 5.5 to 7 million at the most. The land itself, including Northern Ireland, which is ERA as well, if the truth be known, and at this moment of time actually is, it's, I suppose, 7.5 million in total at the moment. But I don't know how many. I don't know.
2 million live in Northern Ireland, huh?
But I don't know how. But I don't know how many. What can I put it? Of army age soldiers have been drafted into this country in the last couple of years, because it seems we have a militia forming in lots of areas from different countries, and they seem to be quite happy to live amongst us until maybe they're going to be kicking our doors in. I don't know. Maybe I'm being paranoid.
Some of those people might be clones where they got a temporary soul.
Yeah.
And their soul don't have empathy.
Yeah. Well, in the old days, I mean, they had the people here called the Black and Tans, and they released a load of Scottish prisoners from prison in, I think, around Glasgow area, and they were given their freedom if they went over and killed the Irish. So they were quite happy to do their job and be free from the prison that they were in. Mercenaries, basically, and they still exist. I'm in Derry now, and I'm sure that the PSNI and all the rest of their
Ireland's supposed to rise up and take that Northern Ireland section back for Ireland.
Well, it'll happen. We don't have to rise up violently. We can just rise up with contracts. Right at this very minute, there's a window of opportunity as we speak, and it's amazing that on the 6th of December 2021, the 99-year contract of the provisional government and the Free State and the 6 counties came to an end. So this provisional government don't exist anymore. They were provisional only as long as that contract lasted, and it's run out. They have no power. And we are the only country on the planet that had our winning electorate, our TDs who sat in the Mansion House on our Independence Day, taken out and shot, and the losers who were the British Crown put in their place. And that's the provisional government. And that British-based provisional government is now not in power as we speak. So the truth isn't been told. It's only me and a few other heads around Ireland talking about it, or it seems to be, we're told to shut up because we're mad or we're wrong or whatever. So the Irish people. Sorry, Gary?
I says those were people with reptilian souls that did that. You can be sure.
Well, absolutely. But where was I going with that? So basically, we have an opportunity where we can actually say, right, let's go back to the Mansion House. Let's put back the clock and say, you didn't shoot our TDs. We're picking them now. And in 2023, change, ignore Leinster House. They're a provisional government that have no power anymore over us, and choose our own electorate from around the good people in communities. In fact, they probably don't want to be TDs, but the communities, please push them forward. All the good people doing great things in all the different counties and dioceses around Ireland become our new TDs. And we start our own economy, we start our own thing. Rip it up and start again. That's rising up, isn't it? Taking our power back. And we can do it without firing a gun. They're the ones that get violent. They're the evil ones. They're the ones that want us to be violent.
Check the wash.
I don't know. I want nothing. Go check it. I bring my underwear and then I go to a hair salon.
Okay. All right. We'll see you later, honey.
Yeah.
Okay. So, live from Gary Peter Carlson's place.
Yeah, she brought her aunt over from another house to see our new house.
We've interrupted. It was bad timing on our part, probably, Gary. You know.
Yeah,
So
well, I hope it didn't screw up the video too much.
No, of course it did. Of course it did. People like a bit of live entertainment, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they like a bit of rough around the edges. I don't edit, as you know. We've made mistakes before. We've had to come on the next show and say, "Whoops, made a mistake last week." You know, these things happen.
Yeah.
you know, we correct them if we can, and if they're pointed out to us, we say, "Oh, I was wrong." Okay, and we learn. You know, that's it. Do you want to hear a poem?
I want to hear a poem.
You want to hear? Do you know what? I don't actually know where I put my bloody poetry book. Hang on a second. Oh, I've got it. I've got it. And as luck would have it, my glasses on top of them. That's handy. So, Gary Peter Carlson, would you pick a number between 10 and 90? And don't let it mean anything, as you know the rules.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm gonna go with 87.
87.
That comes to my mind. 87.
Lovely, lovely. Well,
Can you move your teacup?
I can. Sorry. Whoops, storm in a teacup. Anyway, this is page 87. It's one of the shortest poems I've ever written.
Oh, wow.
And you've chosen it as we were talking about ascension, as we were talking about getting rid of the evil, good people being replacing them, etc., and them not moving on with us. This is called An End to Fear. And it goes like this. It's a wave that's coming along. You can find it in the lyrics of your favorite song. The corruption will end, along with the greed. Alas, we will have just what we need. The music will play, and what an atmosphere. There'll be an end to pain and an end to fear. There you go. As we hear sirens in the background in Derry City. Well, I hope they're okay, whoever it was.
Yeah,
So
I'm not able to hear it on this end, but
did you not hear it?
no.
You still didn't hear the poem. What happened?
No, I heard the poem. I didn't hear the sirens in the background.
Oh, I see. We can hear them loudly. Maybe you can't hear them where you are. Sorry about that. I thought you didn't hear the poem.
They don't come on the video, the sirens, but the poem was good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Pat, as you're there, and that was a very short poem, would you like to pick a number between 10 and 90? I don't want to disclude you.
Yeah, let's do another one.
10. Okay. Well, there's a little story that goes with page 10.
Right.
Okay. And it's in my memory. And the poem is actually called, I'll go to it, you got video on. It's called In Your Memory. Okay?
Okay.
And I wrote it for, I grew up in England. I was born in England of Irish parents. So my friends were slaves in England. I was fighting Thatcherite Britain. You know what I mean? And the pigs and all that stuff. So lots of things were going on. And I used to do punk gigs over there. And in between bands, I'd get up and I'd do poetry. And this is the poem I used to do for the English people to listen to. So it's very old poem. It's about 40 years old. It goes like this. Looking backwards through tinted glass, picking up broken pieces of my past, wishing my next breath was my last. Well, the Union Jack's flying, but it's at half-mast. Politics, religion, have you got enough bread? Worth your weight in gold until you're dead. When you're dead, the National Health might buy another bed. In your memory. Time for an election? Well, it's come too late. Getting rid of the world that you and I hate. Well, it needs all of us caring if we're to demonstrate. But who am I to tell you? Who am I to dictate? Leaders try and tell you that you are number one. Then through their greed and ego wars, they arm you with a gun. But don't you realise who it is having all the fun? In your memory. Rise up. Stand proud. This all belongs to you. We all know what we want to see and what things spoil the view. So come on, let's get together and see more than red, white and blue. Every action in our lives will make our dreams come true. The future generations, they'll just thank us for our actions in this cause. And all we try to do is to kick down all those doors and put an end to poverty and God's forsaken wars. In your memory. There you go. Thank you.
Very good.
I don't think you heard that one before, Gary, did you?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get your book someday.
I'm gonna have to get the Feckers printed.
Yeah, when they get another unit of them printed, another unit printed.
Yeah, but look, I need about $3,000 to do that, and every time I raise a bit of money, My lifestyle makes me not have it again.
They're having terrible inflation where I'm at.
Yeah, it's not good. And listen, I want to say right now, you've been really, really supportive of my work, Gary, and I want to thank you so much for all the help you've given me. You know, not just financial, but spiritual and guidance as well. And I want to tell people, do, not just because he's a mate of mine, not just because of all that, but because he's a great man, check out icheckyoursoul.com. Connect with Gary. Find out what Gary's up to, and it will change your life at least enough to make your life a nicer place to be in. And I know that sounds weird, but knowledge is power. It really is.
Any of Sean's friends get a soul report for half price.
Whoa!
There you go.
That's on my radio show. Did you hear that, guys and gals? So when you go onto icheckyoursoul.com, say that you heard Gary on Out of the Bag, and that you demand that he's a man of his word, and you get a half price reading. How's that?
Yeah, a soul report for half price. And
Fantastic.
it comes with everything you normally get, the consultation and money back guarantee, everything.
Good man. We're living in that material world. Soon we'll be paid tenfold for just wanting to care for others. That's what I think is going to happen.
When you have the consultation, I love to have you contact me on Skype, and I record it and make a public video out of it. Or if you're so inclined, it can be a private video. If you don't want to be in a public video, you don't have to be, but you can be.
Yeah. And I know why you like people doing that, because of the positive results and the consultations that go the right way. And then people come back to you after and say how much you've helped, which is really good. Really good stuff.
Yeah, there's something new to learn, and there's something new to learn in every consultation. If you played them all, you would pick up new things that would help you.
Oh, I see. So the consultation of someone else's soul report could actually be beneficial to other people by hearing it.
Yeah, they play it and they learn something in it, and it helps their life.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know you go with the flow and you use the pendulum. Sorry, say that again, Gary.
If you make your consultation public where other people can play it, you get extra good karma for that.
Right, okay, I hear you. Okay, well, it's all about communication. I do think that the whole world will change if we just talk to each other, listen to each other, and when someone's making a mistake, don't be pointing the finger and laughing and waiting for them to fall over on their face. Tell them what they're doing wrong. Give them a hand. You know, this bad karma, good karma thing, it's fun to be helpful, actually. And it's actually gratifying. It's self-gratifying to do good things for other people. You feel good yourself after it. Do you know?
Yeah, you can connect with a person the right way. You can help them change. If you do it wrong, they'll be mad at you, but you can try to do it in a correct way where it's receptive to it.
Yes. And we, I mean, what we do ripples out into the universe. What we do matters. We're all matter, energy. And it matters. It really does what we do and what we say, how we do it and how we say it. It really does. Intent is pretty much everything. And myself and Pat will be intense over the weekend because we're going to a festival. Yeah. Where I hopefully will be taking this wee book with me and asking people to pick a number from the book and have a few poems read out. I think I might even be doing a little gig or two around the festival. So that's in Ballinasloe if anybody wants to contact us and find out where it is. My email address is outofthebagpoetry@gmail.com.
Okay.
There you go. So we're hoping to meet a lot of like-minded, and as Ollie Damagard said on my show, light-minded, which is even better than like-minded, because we can all be different. As long as we're light-minded, it's grand, isn't it? Yeah. So, listen, we've done just over 35 minutes or 34 minutes. Do you want to do longer? Do you want to talk about some certain subjects, or do you think this is okay for a little extra for next week's show?
Oh, I'm with the program. Whatever you like. We can go further or whatever. I need a 3-minute break to move the laundry machine.
Okay. But would you allow me to? be able to mute your mic, and I'll just put a little tune on and keep people entertained with a song or two.
All right, yeah, just keep going, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So while Gary goes and has a wee break, as they say, I'm going to put on. What am I going to put on? I could pick anything at all. Let's have a look. Who should I play? I'm going through A, B's, and C's and stuff like that. But you know what I mean. What shall I play? Who's playing us? I can play that. I'll play a bit of Bob Villain, because you know what? When I was in England and I was at Paddy and all the rest of it, you know, I was born there. I lived there. And this is a guy called Bob Villain. And this track is We Live Here. Go on, tell him, Bob. Yeah, I just thought I'd put some politically correct music on while Gary was elsewhere. The wonderful Bob Villain, welcome back to Out of the Bag. He will be at Rebellion Festival, by the way. Scary. Or he was at Rebellion Festival, because this is going out next week after Rebellion has finished. Welcome back, Gary. How are you doing?
Okay, good.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Need a break there, thank you.
No worries. You've done your doings. You're back here live now on Out of the Bag. Oh, have a cup of tea. So, I just played Bob Villain, and it was quite heavy, and I forgot how heavy it was, actually. So there's a few swear words in there that wouldn't get airplay usually. But because we're both adults, I'm sure it's grand. And it certainly got the message across. You know. So we're moving into a better future, Gary. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. We're going through the dark night of the soul now, but we're getting through it.
Yeah.
We might have a little ways to go. I don't know, maybe a month. Could be a month or two or some more, but I think we're getting toward the end of it.
Okay, well, the biggest epidemic during all this shite going on, and it's horrible and very, very sad, so many families were affected, is suicide. I mean, the biggest disease is mental decisions that people are making, that they don't want to live here anymore. You know?
Yeah, there probably is a lot of that. That's too bad.
People are so close to ascension.
A lot of people try it, but they're not any good at it.
There are a few impositions, draconians and reptilians. I think we should actually teach how to do it.
Well,
But,
there's a rule on it that people don't realize.
well,
If your mind wants to commit suicide, but your soul doesn't,
yeah,
then it doesn't work. You don't die.
right.
And
Okay.
a lot
So
of times it comes down that way.
But why would a soul ever even want to die?
It, soul can it can be sick and tired of the life that it's in, that it wants to get out of it. And well, I
So-
mean, an obvious example would be is if the body's in tremendous unstoppable pain and it won't quit.
Okay. Well, I'm in constant pain every day and it won't quit. But I don't.
If it's so horrible that life's unbearable,
Yeah. Okay.
would be a reason. That would be a valid reason to commit suicide. I mean, that hardly ever comes up where it's like that, but most of the time there's temporary problems, like
Yes.
like you're out of money or something like that, or you're a drug addict and you're out of drugs and you're out of money, and oh, this is so horrible, I'm going to end it.
Yeah. It's
Your
first
soul
world problem.
knows 2 weeks later none of that's going to be important. So suicide's stupid, and the soul won't permit it to happen.
Okay. So the people that do succeed in committing suicide, sorry to go down this route, but the ones that do succeed, does that mean that they've superseded their soul's choice, or that their soul has said, yeah, okay, let's go?
Yeah, the soul went along with it, and sometimes the soul does.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes the situation is horrible, and it's going to
Yeah.
stay horrible, and it's going to keep going like that, and the soul's, yeah, let's get out of this.
Okay. No, that's a good thing. I mean, I don't want people trapped in chronic pain on a daily basis. I wouldn't wish what I've got on anyone, So I was hoping that earlier on, when I mentioned about the fifth dimension and what we would be like, will we have mouths and ears and noses, and will we still have eyes the way we have them? Will we completely
Yeah,
different?
in fourth density, it will be about the same.
Right.
I'm saying the new people that are born will be like taller and thinner
Yeah, you said that.
and less athletic.
Less athletic. Okay.
Yeah, less athletic. That'll be a drawback. We'll be more intellectually minded and spiritual type of person,
Okay.
rather than a fighter and a football player and all that.
So that is a lower frequency.
The skills for those things will still be available, but they'll be lessened. I think that when we move into fourth density, all the people that moved in with it will keep the same bodies, and they'll still be populating the football, basketball, baseball, hockey teams, or whatever they got in your country. I know Ireland is more of a football, soccer country than the United States. It doesn't have as much.
As you have your national sport.
Yeah, we have American football as our most popular sport.
Yeah, you have
basketball and baseball are popular too.
Yeah, they're the ones you have. We have our own national sports as well. We have, hurling and football in GAA, and also camogie, which is the female version of hurling.
How about
they also have female football? So we have our own, and then there is soccer, which is the English sport, the game that that's taken over the world. We are the world.
Yeah.
Is on at the moment.
Yeah, I find that interesting to watch the World Cup, but every 4 years. If they had it every year, I wouldn't be that interested in it. But when it's every 4 years, it's a little more interesting.
Yeah.
I like watching the groups where you get 3 points for a win and 1 point for a tie, and the two top teams advance.
Good stuff.
Look at all the combinations,
Yeah.
you can win one, tie one, and lose one, and sometimes you would go, and sometimes you wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Well,
tie all 3 games, you could make it in the top 2, but probably won't.
okay. So what do we expect, or how do we expect the people, the draconians and the reptilians in power now to be replaced? Is it just through ascension that they will die out, or is it that we will sort them out beforehand and create an ascension and heaven on earth in a sense?
We could take them out of power before planetary ascension.
Yeah.
And I think we will.
Hmm.
Or at least take out them. There's 4 kinds of them. And I get there's draconians, which are by far the evilest.
Right.
They gave me this scale to rate groups.
Okay.
And it goes from like 1 to 100. And they have it for groups that have empathy, and they also have it for groups that don't have empathy. But
Okay.
it's different for each one. Now, in the groups that don't have empathy, the higher the number, the more eviler it is. And 12 is neutral. So if a group has a number below 12, they're positive. And if a group has a number higher than 12, the higher it is, the more evil they are. And the draconians are like 98.
Okay.
And then the lizards are like 50.
Okay.
They're like moderately evil. And then I don't know the names of these other groups, so I got them as reptilians A and reptilians B.
Okay.
And the B I think are 83. I guess they are, and they're in the Oriental Asian countries.
Okay.
Basically, they're doing those countries, and then the reptilian A is rated 63, which is fairly evil still, and they're like in the Middle East and the other Asian countries. So the West and South America are draconian and lizards.
Yeah.
And then the Oriental countries are reptilian B, and the rest of the world, which is mostly Asia. I should say Africa.
Hmm.
Africa is lizards and draconian as well.
Yeah.
Is the West. They've taken
Well,
over.
when you did the Irish list and I sent you all their I sent you a list of the TDs, I sent you their constituency and the party they were in.
Draconians and lizards mainly.
It was unbelievable.
There could be some other. There could be some reptilian A and B in there too. And when I did the list, I wasn't getting those. For some reason, they delayed on giving me that information. They told me there was only lizards and draconians for a long time, and then all of a sudden they sprung on me these other 2 reptilian kinds. I don't know why they don't give me all the information right away, and then they slowly give me new information, and they claim it's for me to discharge karma. You see,
they want you to make mistakes. Is that it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
See, before I woke up spiritually, I was a professional gambler.
Yeah.
And a heavy recreational drug user.
Okay.
And I didn't commit criminal activity to get money for drugs.
No, right. You could afford it.
But I made a lot of money, and I was an excellent gambler.
Okay.
And I made a lot of money in gambling and used that to get drugs.
Yes.
And I got a fair amount of bad karma on the way, so they're one of the rules. I'm what's called a wanderer.
Mm.
There's about 85 million of us on Earth, or something like that.
Yeah.
And and there's wanderers, starseeds, people that are qualified for ascension, and people that are in the cycle.
Yes.
The 25,920-year cycle. That's most of the people are in that cycle.
They are, yeah.
And there's around an equal number of starseeds and wanderers. And there might be a lot more people that are qualified for ascension than either of those two groups.
Well, I think it's about feckin' time that the Starseeds and the Wanderers and all the rest of them get together.
There's different rules for each group to discharge karma,
Okay.
and I can explain some of that right now.
Please do. What's the Starseeds' way of getting rid of karma? That's lovely. I want to know
All right,
that.
let's start with the people that are in cycle.
Yes.
If they pick up a lot of bad karma, which they often do if their soul's real young,
Yes.
like from like 1700 until now, the population increased from like 1 billion to 7.5 billion.
Yeah.
All kinds of new souls had to come into the earth. So there's a ton of people that I get, when I do many soul readings that are 5% done with their cycle.
Oh, wow.
They
Right.
they got real immature souls that don't know how to run the body very well. And those people, they can be real skilled spiritually, but they tend to have low soul scores and a lot of bad karma because the soul don't know how to control the body or run the body correctly. The soul's still learning and figuring that out, which translates into a low soul score and a lot of bad karma.
Yeah.
Those people that are in cycle, they get 3 lifetimes to discharge their bad karma if they pick up a bunch.
Okay.
They can do it over 3 lifetimes, which is.
But you have to be aware of it. You have to know you're doing it, and you know what I mean. It's a bit rude that we're not told where we stand and what we need to do to eradicate bad karma, etc.
Right. I'm here to help you on that, though. If you can find me, find me and get with me, I can tell you what's going on your soul. And you can find out a fair amount of it for free with the mini soul reading.
Yes.
I do that for free for anybody that sends me an email. Now you can't send me a list and include all your friends on there. They have to send their own email. I'll be undated in lists.
I get you.
20 people, and
That sounds like a man who's been bitten before.
That's no good for me to just do lists all day.
No.
But you can find out for yourself.
Yeah, brilliant.
A star seed or somebody that's qualified for ascension.
Yeah.
A star seed and somebody qualified are fairly similar. The difference is a star seed's from another planet, but they both completed their cycle, and they're trying to make ascension to the 5th density.
Okay, so you've told me I'm a starseed and I finished my cycle. So is it just because I'm a starseed?
Yeah, it's the same. Almost all, but not quite all starseeds are here to make ascension.
Okay.
There's under 1% might be here for some other reason. And
well, it makes sense to me because I've had spiritual experiences that other people don't seem to have had, and I've wondered why. So
what you're trying to do with your karma is you're trying to get rid of all your bad karma, just as you make ascension, which is in 2 to 6 years, probably in 4 years, which is 2027. Sometime in that year, probably the ascension window is going to open up. And people make it one by one ascend. An 8th density being comes and gets you. There'll be like millions of 8th density beings that are sent here from all over the galaxy to assist on taking individual people up for ascension. And you'll get like a 2-hour warning that you're going to go. And then you can say goodbye to your friends and loved ones and maybe have a quick party. And if you do, I would like to come to yours.
No, I'll be on my own with 7 women. No, I mean I'll be busy having a coffee somewhere. Listen, we've come to the end of an hour now.
Okay, you want to quit or keep going?
Well, how can I put it? We're recording this for my show next week, and it is now the 2nd of the 8th, 2023, and obviously, it's a week away. I've been pretty busy today getting the show out for this evening, and it's absolutely brilliant that I'm talking to you, but I'm absolutely jaded. So it's more of my soul telling my body, "You've done enough today, Sean." You know.
All right, want me to kill the recording then?
That'd be great. Listen, first of all, I want to say I know you're recording it too, but thank you so much, Gary, for coming on Out of the Bag, and we'll have a little chat after we finish this recording. Yes.
Yes. All right. Goodbye.